Hello everyone, my name's Claire Varley and welcome back to the home of EDFL Web TV, the Pascoe Vale Hotel. We'll be coming to you weekly on the EDFL YouTube channel. This season we'll be visiting clubs, so if your club has a significant event coming up, contact us via our social media networks. This week EDFL Web TV has been visiting another of our clubs, so let's throw to Pellizzeri and see what's going on.
Thanks Claire. We're at Lionheart Reserve, home of Taylors Lakes this week, and looking forward to the Essendon Forward Division 1 weekend where they take on Tullamarine. We'll get to that game in a moment, but right now I'm joined by Adem, Saricaoglu and Dave Kennedy from EDFL Radio to look ahead to the weekend. And we start with Strathmore Community Bank Premier Division. Plenty of different fixtures coming up this weekend. We've got a twilight game and a Sunday game, so let's start with the twilight match. Aberfeldy versus Avondale Heights. This is the first time it's been played on a Saturday as an annual fixture between the two teams, so it doesn't stand alone quite as it has in the past, but they have moved it to a twilight fixture, which will be interesting and hopefully a bumper crowd down at Clifton Park. We've spoken at length about Avondale's form in the lead up to the weekend as part of the Round 2 review video. If you haven't seen it yet, click through to the EDFL YouTube channel. So let's focus on Aberfeldy here. They rolled past Northern Saints with relative ease, although they were challenged for one quarter, which is a good enough sign for the Saints. Aberfeldy or Avondale Heights? Adam and Dave, your tips.
Look, I can't trust Avondale Heights at the moment, so I'm going with Aberfeldy, who are just chugging along nicely at the moment. We might have underestimated that win against Vale, and I like their spread of goal kickers on the weekend, albeit against the Northern Saints. So seem to be firing on all cylinders right now, Abbas.
I want to mention that as well, Chief. Their spread of goal kickers, 15 goal kickers, as you mentioned, on the weekend. I wonder whether that's both their greatest accolade and also their greatest problem, is that they maybe don't have a key forward. I thought that in the final series last year, there was a few times there where they'd get the ball to sort of midway out or the halfway point at Windy Hill and just didn't seem to have a key forward. So as good as it is that they had 15 goal kickers on the weekend, I still wonder who the key forward is that's going to step up for Aberfeldy during the season, but I'm going to tip them this week anyway.
All right, the Sunday feature game, which will be available exclusively on EDFL Team app. Saturday's game, Northwest FM as usual, as well as the Team app. But Sunday, Northwest FM has its regular programming, so we will be broadcasting, thanks to Livecast, through the EDFL Team app. Make sure you download it, it's absolutely free, and you'll be able to listen to Keilor versus Pascoe Vale. I think Pascoe Vale are a juggernaut, guys. I can see them kicking a big score. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 130 to 150 points from Pascoe Vale, and Keilor, well, I'm not sure how many they can kick in response, so Pascoe Vale for me.
I think they've taken over the mantle of the old Northern Saints as being the most potent and offensive team in Premier, and we know Keilor's not, so I don't think Keilor can keep up with Paco on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a case of the team that kicks a massive score every week versus the team that needs to find more avenues to goal, Pascoe Vale for me.
And we'll whip through the other three games. Stop me if you like an upset for Strathmore versus Airport West. I think we're all going with Strathmore there. Northern Saints taking on Maribyrnong Park. This was a draw in the corresponding fixture last season. Things have changed. Anyone want to tip the Northern Saints? No. Greenvale versus West Coburg. West Coburg competitive for a half against Strathmore last week, fell away in the second half. Greenvale, who we've just seen, he'd be a brave man to tip against Greenvale at the moment. So those are our other three games in Premier Division. But just a reminder that 1 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Saturday is EDFL Radio, and 2 to 5 p.m. on Sunday it is a Team app exclusive of Keilor versus Pascoe Vale. Livecast.com.au and streaming via the EDFL's Team app. Just look for the live radio button. Let's move on to Essendon Forward Division 1 and the Saturday broadcast game. We'll be taking the van up to DS Aitken on Anzac Day and covering Craigieburn versus Essendon due to Stars. This one was a standout when the fixture came out at the start of the season based on Dudas coming back to Division 1 and Craigieburns recruiting. But I'm going to say I'm a little bit worried here that this could be another blowout. I reckon Dudas pretty hot stuff at the moment. Craigieburn, after struggling to get past Tullamarine, I reckon this could be a one-sided Dudas win. Guys, am I giving Dudas too much credit based on only the one performance so far?
Well, perhaps we are, but yeah, you never know. We need to see a bigger sample from Essendon due to Stars, and you know this will be obviously a good test. But look, one good thing about Craigieburn last week was Jason Cloak got 3 goals. Cam didn't get any, and they had in the end 11 goal kickers. So they can spread it around Craigieburn, and that might be a bit more unpredictable than we expected.
I think regardless of the margin, it'll be good to go out and see Dudas Stars and Craigieburn both with the changes that they've had over the off-season. So I think, Teo, as you mentioned, I'm worried that Dudas could do the job on Craigieburn just based on Dean Wallace's interview, which I found very intimidating. I just thought that Dudas Stars seem like, and maybe that's a bit of Adrian Jamison that's worn off on me as well, they seem like they're the real deal this year.
And if you want to hear that interview with Dean Wallace, click through to the EDFL YouTube channel. We spoke to him as part of EDFL Preview last Saturday. So I'm tipping Essendon Dudas Stars. I hope it's close. We need to have a close game on radio sooner rather than later, guys, so hopefully it is a close finish up there at DS Aitken. Let's move through the rest of the Essendon 4 Division 1 games. Glenroy versus West Meadows. This is a classic coin flip game. I think we say this about Glenroy every week. Can they get over the line, though? I think their percentage is 96 and they're zipping 2. So, Adam, have you got the Tigers or have you got the Roys?
West Meadows will bounce back in this game. And look, Glenroy have been pretty stiff to be zipping 2, and they've actually got a pretty tough draw coming up, and their bye is pretty much in the middle of the season. So, really stiff, but Glenroy will be going zipping 3 in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to tip West Meadows as well, Chief. I think that they've had a good start to the season. I think that they can capitalise. Glenroy, maybe issues about just getting over the line, and whether they can do that this week, I don't think so. So I'm tipping West Meadows.
Well, I'm not off the Westie bandwagon, but I'm tipping Glenroy in this one. I've tipped them all 3 weeks of the season so far. So if they lose by under a kick again, that might be enough for me. Taylor's Lakes versus Tullamarine. Of course, we're here at Lionheart Reserve, so I'm going to do the right thing and tip Taylor's Lakes. I reckon they'll have some issues with Tullamarine, though, who are a team that, based on one performance, seem to be far better than we all thought in the pre-season. So is this as clear-cut as it seems, Taylor's Lakes, or do you think Tullamarine can get off the mark?
No, I think it's pretty clear-cut. Taylor's Lakes should be winning this game and feeling relatively comfortable about it, especially at home. Yeah,
I think Taylor's Lakes, you mentioned all those names in the review show, and I think that another name is Mehmedi. 15 goals this season already. He's a good target up forward, and you need those types in Essendon 4 Division 1.
And East Keilor versus Oak Park. Anyone want to make the case for East Keilor here, or does Oak Park improve to 3 and zip?
I'm pretty confident that Oak Park will bounce back in this game. East Keilor obviously the unknown to a lot of teams in this division, but Oak Park should have their measure.
Yeah, I think Oak Park as well. Don't know about bouncing back. I think they're 2 and zip, aren't they, Chief?
Well, let's move on to Strathmore Community Bank Division 2. Relax, guys. And we've got one feature game in Division 2 this week where, again, we don't really know what to make of this. It's winless Keilor Park heading to Cole Reserve to take on a Coburg Districts team that has just been embarrassed by Roxburgh Park with kicking only 2 goals for the entire game. I'm going to tip Keilor Park to get off the mark here. I reckon that loss might take a few weeks to get over for Coburg Districts, and Keilor Park have been there or thereabouts in the first couple of games, only to really tail off late and lose control of the margin in the final quarter. So I'm going to go with the upset pick here. I think Keilor Park will win. Guys, who do you like, the Lions or the Devils?
You might have swayed me a bit, Teo. I pretty comfortably ticked Coburg Districts initially, but you might, like the rest of us, might be a bit worried about what they put up on the weekend, so it'll be a lot closer than perhaps I was expecting. I'll still go with Districts, though. I reckon they'll bounce back.
Yeah, tough one. I guess I'm going to go with Coburg Districts, not very comfortably, but just because they made the finals last year. Roxburgh Park, I think, are an improved side, so I think that explains part of the performance on the weekend, so Coburg Districts for me.
And we'll whip through the other 3 games because there are clear favourites and clear underdogs in all of them. Jacana versus East Sunbury, I think we all like Jacana there. Also, Hadfield heading up to Burnside Heights. We fancy the Hawks to get the job done there. Does anyone want to make the case for Moonee Valley against Roxburgh Park? I mean, this feels like we did it 3 times last year and we're talking up Moonee Valley each time they played Roxburgh Park, and of course Roxy came through with the goods each time. So this time around I think Roxburgh Park will win and win well. But Adam?
I don't think that Valley's been all that convincing. They've only beaten the 2 expansion sides so far and they didn't obliterate them, so I'm not sold on Moonee Valley yet, but I suppose we'll see against better opposition this week. But right now Roxy do seem like a juggernaut.
And Dave, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
I'm looking forward to going out to Craigieburn and seeing them take on Duda Stars. I think Anzac Day is going to be not only a big day for the country, but a big day for football and for local footy. It falls on a Saturday, so I think that there'll be a big crowd of people that I guess are celebrating not only the football but Anzac Day as well.
And Adem Saricaoglu, what are you looking forward to the most this weekend?
Look, to be honest, I think it's Keilor and Pascoe Vale because Paco have improved that much, and they're probably tipped right now to take Keilor's spot in the top 4, but I know for a fact that Keilor won't be giving that up quite easily. So I think it might be a bit of feeling in this game, Teo, and it might be a little bit closer than perhaps we're expecting. We don't know. But I'm going to be really curious to see just exactly what goes down in that game, and hopefully I will be there to be able to watch it. The fact it's on a Sunday is good for a lot of spectators. It means I can probably get out and get a good look at Pascoe. So probably more so I want to see Pascoe live, but just how Keilor stacks up against them.
Well, that's the week coming up in the Essendon District Football League. Just a reminder, the broadcast games this weekend from 1 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Saturday. It's Essendon Forward Division 1 at DS Aitken Craigieburn versus Essendon Doodle Stars. We'll have the preview show from 1 to 2 p.m. on Northwest FM and streaming at northwestfm.org and via the EDFL team app. And 5 to 5:30 p.m. we get the coaches and the players in for a bit of reaction, and we do the full whip around the grounds with all the scores as part of EDFL review. So stay with us through until 5:30 p.m. And then on Sunday you've got bonus footy streaming on the EDFL team app. And make sure you get that in your pocket on your smartphone or Android. It's Keilor versus Pascoe Vale. On behalf of Dave Kennedy and Adem Saricaoglu, I'm Teo Pellizzeri, and we'll see you at the footy this weekend.
That's the end of this edition of EDFL Web TV. Make sure to check out the EDFL YouTube channel for more videos. I'm Varley, and we'll see you back here at the Pascoe Vale Hotel soon.